Oh, hello, party people. It is with great sadness and disappointment that I have to say, until further notice, if further notice, I will no longer be making any videos about Diablo 4. I have received my refund for the pre-order of Vessel of Hatred. Sony was kind enough to arrange that. As far as I know, I still got to keep the pre-order stuff, so joke's on them. On Blizzard, of course, not Sony. Sony and I have a pretty good relationship, because like I'm the dominant one. Something similar happened to me in Diablo 3. I was mostly single player back then. Like, I don't think the ladder system was even installed in the game yet. Because the way the ladder works, the characters are stored on a server to prevent cheating and whatnot. Because you have to be online to play that particular part of the game. I did mostly single player offline. Couch co-op every once in a while. There was a cinematic that was loading, and during the cinematic of the single player campaign, the game auto saves like at the beginning of the cinematic to register you got up to that point of the game, I presume. My game froze before the cinematic even started. I couldn't figure out a way out of that menu or like to restart the game other than a hard reset. When I went back to load my single player data offline again, I can't stress that enough, all my characters were gone. And that was when there was only the I have to look at the list: the barbarian, the demon hunter, the monk, the witch doctor, and the wizard. This is even before the necromancer update, before the crusader update, Reaper of Souls. So it took me a while, but I came back from that when I heard the bug was fixed. There's a bug in Diablo 4 for a build I've been building for about the past 2-3 weeks. And this is already a shortened season, so I was already behind. And I wanted ample time to enjoy the build. I have 3 out of the 4 mythic uniques needed to complete the build. The last one I was gonna get, my inner sight on my rogue, the Endario pen shot build, penetrating shot, with Endario's Visage, Doombringer, and what was it? The Ring of Starless Skies. I only needed Tyrio's Might. Penetrating shot and the inner sight, specifically the inner sight, does not work on torment bosses. It just doesn't fill up. If it does, it's very slow, and there's no way I can solo any of the torment bosses myself. I mean, maybe Zero, but I still think it would take like half an hour. This bug has existed since 2023. If you look at the forums with the timestamp of some of the bugs, this particular one is more than a year old. This particular one appears to be only affecting console players. Blizzard, do you know who the fuck I am? So, I mean, like, I have close to 3,000 platinums. Whether that platinum took me 10 seconds or 10 days. I have 1,388 hours logged in Diablo 4 on the PlayStation 5. I have the platinums in both the PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4 version of Diablo 4, the base game. Like I said, I requested my pre-order back, the amount. Sony was gracious enough to let it happen. Well, I feel like my hands are tied with this. I paid the exuberant pre-order Ultimate Edition price for Diablo 4. Did I get my money's worth? I mean, I guess. The point is, I paid for a game that works. Not just works for part of the game. I paid for the whole game to work. And you're telling me I wasted the past 2 to 3 weeks building the Dario build, when you can't even use it against Torment bosses. Torment bosses are kind of a big deal for those that don't know. It is basically, I don't want to say the only way, but close to the only way to get mythic uniques. What used to be called uber uniques. The tormented bosses used to be called uber bosses. So, either Blizzard fixes that before the season is over and I can actually enjoy my build again, or I think I'm done. Like, you just don't fucking waste my time like that. I could have been playing Genshin Impact. I could have every single area 100% explored by now if I wasn't wasting time on Diablo 4. Yes, I call it a waste because now I have a 75% complete build. There were indications that in the past year it wasn't working on pit bosses, it wasn't working on Nightmare Dungeon bosses, and they fixed that. Now it doesn't work on tormented bosses, and this is on PS5. I can't stress that enough. So if Blizzard only cares about PC, why even fucking release the game on PS5? I just feel like there's nothing I can do about this, and it's not a good feeling. How is Blizzard going to compensate me realistically? I couldn't even post in the forums. That's where I found out that this issue still exists. And it's just like, maybe I'll log in the day before the season begins just to see if it works, and I'll last ditch effort. And maybe then I would consider repurchasing the Vessel of Hatred pre-order. But I think I'm done. That was 1,388 hours. I guess I got my money's worth for the game. It's just, this is either going to be a hiatus or it's going to be a rage quit, and it looks like it's going to be a perma rage quit. I've been playing not even just Diablo games, the franchise, but Blizzard games since Warcraft 1, Diablo 1. And this, granted they're not similar situations, but they are situations that should never exist if you guys just did a PTR from the fucking beginning. And the Diablo 3 and Diablo 4 instances are I understand they are different. That doesn't mean either of them should have existed. Like, do you guys not have beta testers? Do you want me to test the game? I'll test the fuck out of the game, but like, I don't hear anyone knocking on my door. I apologize to anyone who is the few people out there who might have been looking forward to Diablo 4 videos, but it's I don't think it's happening. It's sad, really. I know George, he has banned and has not purchased a Final Fantasy game in a long time. Specifically, I think Squaresoft or Square Enix altogether. He had a bad experience where he was locked out of some trophies due to a time issue, a release issue, like, you know, like for the game's schedule, not like, you know, like a 1,388 hour time schedule. No, not like that. And he stuck to it, and he just, as far as I know, he just doesn't play Final Fantasy anymore, or any Square game, I guess. I really didn't want to do that to Blizzard, Activision Blizzard, but I never really liked Call of Duty that much anyway. It's part of me tells me I'm overreacting, but like I said, I paid for a game that works, not just works when it wants to work, or certain parts will only work certain times. We'll see, but I think I'm just gonna refocus back on Genshin Impact and trophy hunting. I think that might be it for now. All right, again, sorry for this bad news, guys, but think about how I feel. Andari's Visage, Ring of Starless Skies. What was the last one? Doombringer. And when I'm finally ready to get Tyrio's Might, this shit happens, and it's like, I still have my account, so whatever, but this is not happening. I don't think it's gonna happen. And for the rogues out there who do have an inner sight build, inner sight is pretty fucking important. And I followed the entire build playing the rogue that way, only to be able to not complete it. And this is not my fault. This is an issue that Blizzard has constantly had with releasing games with bugs. I don't hear about this shit happening as much, I guess. I don't know, in Final Fantasy 11, or I think, no, it's 14, excuse me. The MMO one, which has grown in popularity, which is kind of unusual. I don't hear about ridiculous things like this happening in Genshin Impact. So I asked you again, Blizzard, why can't you just make a fucking game that works? So in theory, the rogue, if you wanted to play a certain way, is unplayable. Which that just boggles my mind. And I don't know how I'm supposed to react. I know a lot of you motherfuckers out there are saying like, oh, it's just a game, blah blah blah. I spent like 2 to 3 weeks on this game, man. Like, I enjoyed everything leading up to this point. Now you can do me like that. Okay. Well, thanks for listening, guys. Again, I apologize to anyone who might have been hoping I was cover Resto of Hatred, the Spiritborn, whatever. I mean, I wanted to, don't get me wrong, but I also will not tolerate being disrespected like this. Last time I checked, my PlayStation 5 money is as good as a PC player's money. And the console is basically what, like, as the expression goes, the redheaded stepchild. Sounds like an internal problem, not my problem. I have nothing else to say. Take care of yourselves and each other, guys.